And when we woke up this morning, we found it in our shop.
Jesus, Father Jerry.
Hello, boys. Giving a party, Soapy?
Yeah, sure.
Everybody invited? Why don't you have it over at the store?
Well, because we're having it here.
Mm-hmm. How about the game today? Aren't you boys going over and get it started? How about it, Soapy?
9-ball in the corner.
Come here a minute. Look at me. Where'd you get all this money you've been spending? You didn't come by it honestly, I know that. Hasn't anything I've said to you in the past few years meant anything to you? Don't you believe me when I tell you that hanging around pool rooms, spending money you've gotten in some underhand, crooked way, trying to be big shots and tough guys, that it won't get you anywhere except eventually in jail? What do you say, boys? Come on along with me and cut out this stuff, and let's get together at the store and figure the whole thing out.
Look, Father, there's nothing to figure out. We're staying here.
Well, all right. So long, boys.
What's the matter, Father? Couldn't you get the kids to heaven with you?
I don't often have to do this. That might help you along, mister.
That's what I want to talk to you about. Hey, look, you got the wrong slant, Laurie. You've been listening to a lot of junk about crime don't pay. Oh, don't be a sucker. That stuff's for yaps and shoestringers, not for people like us. Look, kid, you got some glad rags, something fancy, an evening gown, something like that. Well, get it on. We'll step out and do a little celebrating tonight, huh?
What'll we be celebrating, Rock?
Oh, this whole business. After all, you don't get on the front page every day, do you?
No. You don't get away from cops every day either, Rock.
You're doing your smart. Come on, kid. Come on, Laurie. It's uptown for us. Up where you see those nice white lights. That's where we belong. You and me, Laurie. You and me. Come on.
32 on the red.
Give the lady a stack of blues.
Yes, sir.
Hey, Rocky Sullivan.
Yeah, what?
My keeper says he'll see you now.
Where is he?
In the office with Fraser.
Here you are, Laurie. Try your luck. I got some business to do. I'll be right back.
Seeing as how Jim owed you the dough and it all being a misunderstanding, we decided to call it square, Rocky. Square all around with no hard feelings.
You guys want to talk business?
Yeah.
All right, let's talk.
Look here, Rocky. What about those accounts you took from my safe?
I figured out as a kind of insurance. Just in case you guys change your mind.
Okay. Now, what do you want, Rocky?
Nothing from you, Mac. Nothing. Just the original agreement between Fraser and myself. 50% of his share in everything. Well?
All right.
And I'll take good care of those accounts. And I wouldn't try any more tricks, Fraser. Be kind of foolish. Because I'm giving those books some very... Having a good time, honey?
Yeah, fine.
Like this place?
Why wouldn't I?
Well, I own a piece of it now.
Rocky, maybe you are smart enough.
Look, baby, how'd you like to give up that two-for-nickel job of yours and move in here?
Doing what?
Oh, be a sort of hostess in the gambling room. Walk around in a nifty dress. Play a little. Get the swats playing. Give you $100 a week in expenses.
Rocky, it's...
I know. Jerry's been giving you an earful, but he don't need you down there anymore. I sent him $10,000 this afternoon. He can start a real social joint now.
$10,000?
Yeah, but don't tell him, will you? Don't tell him I sent it. I signed it a friend.
Oh, Rock.
Yeah. I know. Now, what about the job? It's waiting for you.
Okay, Rocky.
Swell. Besides, I need at least one friend in this place. Come in, Jerry. Hiya, kid. What do you say? They told me he was outside. Say, what's the idea? Come up to try your luck?
Mm-hmm. But I haven't got any money except this, and it isn't mine.
$10,000? Where'd you get a hold of all that?
Where did you?
Huh?
Take it, Rocky, and thanks, but I'm afraid I can't accept it.
Say, what's the matter? You silly or something? What's all this about? That ain't my money.
I know that, Rocky. That's why I can't take it.
Oh, now come down to it, will you? You blow in here, flash that roll on me, you almost knock me over with it, and then tell me it's my dough and you don't want it.
Rocky, you've got a great poker face. But don't forget, I've known that face for a long time. Oh, what's the use of pretending, Rock? You forced Fraser to get you $100,000. Everybody knows it, Rocky.
All right, so what? What's the difference where the dough came from? First of all, it's mine. Fraser owed it to me. Second, it's better you should have a chunk of it than him or me. All right, it's hot, but nobody's going to know that. Only you and me.
That's just it, Rocky.
Oh, don't be such an angel, will you? You want to build that center of yours so bad? Go on, get it started.
I want to build it very badly, Rocky. But I don't want to build it on rotten foundations. Inside the center, my boys would be clean, but on the outside, they'd be surrounded by the same smelly corruption, crime, and criminals. Yes, criminals, Rocky, yourself included. Criminals on all sides for my boys to look up to and worship, admire, and imitate. What earthly good is there for me to teach that honesty is the best policy when they see all around that dishonesty is the better policy? That the racketeer and gangster are respected and treated just like successful businessmen, like a popular hero. You and the Frasers and Keefers and all those corrupt officials you've got in the palm of your hand, yes, and you've got my boys, too. And whatever I teach them, you show me up. You show them the easiest way, the quickest way to succeed is to do it with a gun or a racket. Well, I thought I could cure this thing from the bottom up, but I can't. So now I'm going to do it from the top down.
Yeah? How?
Rocky, I'm going to use your case as a crowbar to pry open and uncover this cesspool. I'm going to force the law, corrupt or not, to indict and prosecute and bring this mess into the clear light of day. There's going to be a lot of people stepped on, fellow. And if you're in the way, Rocky, I'll be sorry. But you're going to be stepped on just as hard.
All right by me, Jerry. You go to it. But you've got about as much chance of getting an indictment as I have of getting into the Bible Society. You'll find nobody gives a hoot about the whole thing. You'll hear them laughing at you. But go ahead, go to it. And if I'm in the way, why, do your stepping just as hard as you like.
I will. Rocky, shall we shake hands? You know, just for being honest and for old time's sake.
Sure. Good luck, Jerry. Happy hunting, kid.
We pause for station identification. This is the Columbia Broadcasting System. In a few moments, we'll hear Act 3 of Angels with Dirty Faces, starring James Cagney and Pat O'Brien with Gloria Dixon. Now, it's intermission time. But before we introduce our guest of the evening, I want to ask the women in our audience a question. Have you ever really studied the lather of a complexion soap you use? Is it a rich, close-textured lather? Is it the kind of lather that will remove every bit of dust and dirt from your skin? Lovely skin is too important for you to risk choked pores, because that's what brings the dullness and little blemishes that mean cosmetic skin. Follow the advice of lovely women everywhere and use the soap with active lather, Lux Toilet Soap. This gentle white soap removes dust and dirt thoroughly and helps keep your skin smooth and soft. Use cosmetics all you like, but use Lux Toilet Soap regularly. And now, our guest is presented by Mr. DeMille.
On the subject of crime, Courtney Riley Cooper is probably the most widely read and most vigorous writer in America today. A close friend of J. Edgar Hoover, our nation's head G-man, he's also acquainted with people on the other side of the law and has known scores of the country's most notorious criminals. His latest book, Designs in Scarlet, is the result of a personal countrywide investigation into activities that tempt young people to go wrong, a condition for which we all must assume responsibility. When Mr. Cooper and I were writing on one of my pictures several years ago, we discussed many times the problems of youth and crime. He's a straight talker, and there's none better equipped than he to talk to us on that most vital problem, crime. We go to New York City and welcome Courtney Riley Cooper.
I have happy memories of that association, Mr. DeMille. You know, I have just come up from my home in the Deep South, where they have a very descriptive saying. Down there, they believe that one of the worst things that can happen to a youngster is to be born with what they call a mouthful of want. If you could have only have walked through as many prison cells as I have, you would realize how many young people have possessed this mouthful of want and taken the wrong way to gain their ambitions. And the age limit in crime is steadily becoming lower. When I first became a police reporter a good many years ago, it was unusual to see a man go to prison who was less than 35 or 40 years of age. But today, nearly 19% of all our crime is committed by youngsters. They steal half the automobiles and commit nearly a third of the robberies, holdups, burglaries, and larcenies. And they pay for it. In one prison, the hard-boiled guards no longer refer to the condemned cells as death row. They call them the kindergarten because so many young boys are there. Incidentally, most of these young people are underfed and undernourished, either physically or mentally. They come from homes or neighborhoods where there's been a lack of guidance and proper discipline. And no matter whether they are from the biggest of cities or the smallest of towns, they are from a type of slums which should be eliminated. We must all engage in a nation fight against ignorance and wrong thinking, lack of guidance, hero worship for the fellow who gets what he wants, no matter how he does it. Hundreds of thousands of youngsters are being fed on a wrong mental diet. Because of this, somewhere in America, tonight, right now, right this minute, boys and girls are committing major crimes at a rate of 1 every 2 minutes. And half these boys and girls are actually doomed to a life of habitual criminality, to be sent to reformatories, prisons, and even to the death chamber. Somebody will stop this. And that somebody is every decent citizen in America. Clean living, honesty, integrity should be as great a basis of education as reading and writing. Hatred for criminals and disgust for crime should be as necessary a mental attitude as patriotism. This cannot happen as long as street-corner gangs of dirty-faced angels worship the Rocky Sullivans of their block. Sure, it'd be great if we could only clean up our slums, the physical ones where poverty and hunger stalk, and the mental ones, which are even more dangerous. It would be wonderful if we could put in their place a love of honesty, of earnest endeavor, of eagerness to get ahead by decent, honorable means. To do this, we must all work together to achieve certain results. Now, for instance, I believe we should make murder a federal offense. And we should take all police work out of politics. And we should dedicate ourselves to more good homes and fewer bewildered ones. But above all, we must stop glorifying crime and tell the truth about it. That it is cheap, cowardly, miserable. We can do these things, and we must do them. Thank you, Mr. DeMille.
Keep up your fight, Mr. Cooper. Back now in Hollywood, we hear the third act of Angels with Dirty Faces, starring James Cagney and Pat O'Brien with Gloria Dixon. Several weeks have passed, and Father Jerry has carried out his threat. With the aid of a public-spirited editor, he's placed the problem directly before the people, an organized war against crime and corruption. Laurie is frightened. Desperately, she pleads with Rocky to give up his share in the rackets.
You see what's happening, Rocky. This thing's going to grow.
I know. Jerry means it this time, and there's no holding him back. What am I going to do about it?
Come down to earth, Rocky. You can't go on kidding yourself forever. Look, Rocky, you've got all the money you can spend in 5 years. Let's get out.
What for?
Well, Jerry's going on the radio tonight to demand a grand jury indictment. They'll have a warrant out before the week's over, and you on the witness stand grilling you on this kidnapping business. You'll be nailed.
You know, baby, you're getting a lot of gray hairs over nothing at all.
Oh, Rocky, snap out of it, will you? I'm afraid. And I don't want to lose you, Rocky.
Don't worry, kid. You won't.
You've got to listen to me, Father Jerry. Why, they'd give you money to build a model center here near the church. They're influenced to help you pull down the tenements and build decent apartments in their places.
Oh, I know, Laurie. I know.
Well, aren't those the things you want? Isn't that why you started all this trouble?
No, Laurie, I don't want bribes.
Well, then what do you want? What are you hounding him for? What are you trying to send him to prison for life for? You can't do that to Rocky. I won't let you. It isn't Rocky's fault, Father. He was just a kid who made a mistake and got sent up to a reform school. But he isn't bad. Not really bad. You know that. And no matter what he is now, or no matter whether he's right or wrong, we both love him, Father.
Yes, Laurie, we love him. I've loved him since we were kids, 6 years old. We worked together, fought together, and we stole together. Oh, I don't blame Rocky for what he is today. But for the grace of God, there walk I. Oh, I'd do anything in this world to help him. I'd give my life for him if it'd help. But it wouldn't, Laurie, it wouldn't. It'd still be these other boys I don't want to see grow up like Rocky did. They have lives too, Laurie. I can't throw them away. I can't.
And the fact that countless thousands are listening to this program tonight is proof to fling in the teeth of those cynics and skeptics that the public does care and does propose to do something about the appalling conditions I have tried to describe.